not really latch on, but like, I don't know, just watch your stuff, you know, like hopefully your channel will kind of take off, and it's what I hope for. But at the same time, if I'm being realistic, I'm not doing a whole lot different than what a lot of other people are doing, and to be quite honest, it's very, very hard to be original these days. Like, pretty much every idea has been done to death. Like, we've beaten that horse to death and into the ground so many times already, and it's just, you know, it's just whether, at this point, it's not really about being unique, but it's just whether or not, you know, you get popular enough because people like you for one reason or another, because you do something better than someone else does, or maybe you're funnier than someone else, or whatever, you know, something like that. And then now we have this again. We have this stuff again where I barely have enough time to get through the level, which, okay, well, you know, it's a good thing I had the reaction for that, now wasn't it? Great. Freaking Yoshi blocks that I can't even use because I don't have a Yoshi and all that jazz, but yeah, you know, like I said, it would be a dream. It would be a dream of mine if this took off. Like, it doesn't need to be on the level of, like, you know, SSOHPKC, where it's like, oh my god, you know, I'm getting like 12 million views a month or whatever. You know, that would be great, but, you know, maybe in time, I guess. Like, it would be great if I could just, like I said, if I could just kind of make enough to help myself out right now, because I'm not in a great position to be making any kind of money, and it's hard, you know. It really is. It really, really, really is. And it is very unfortunate that this is the world that I have to live in. This is very different. It's very different from the world that, you know, you kind of envision when you're growing up and when you're in high school and stuff. I think it's becoming more of a reality now because this is just what people are going to grow up to expect and stuff. But I remember when I was going to school and they were preparing us for, you know, quote unquote, the real world, which, I mean, school, if we're being honest, school doesn't really do that. You know, they prepare you, they kind of teach you some stuff, and then, what the hell? They kind of teach you some things, but most of the things that you learn generally, now, this, I don't want to dissuade anyone from going to school. Like, school is very important. It's very, very important, and if I could go back, I probably would, and I would do things a bit differently. Slightly, you know, just a tad differently, but school is important, and no matter what I say about it, shouldn't change your mind about that. But I think what school, at least with high school, there needs to be some changes to the system, and they actually need to teach you real-world skills like balancing a checkbook, how to do your taxes, you know, how to find a job, and all that, like skills that you actually need, like managing your money and budgeting and stuff. Like, they don't teach you that, and it's kind of a very, very big slap in the face when you finally get out there into the real world and you're just like, well, you know, especially if you leave, you know, home and you don't stay and live with your parents or whatever. Like, when you're out there on your own. Now, I had to do all of this the hard way, and I don't regret doing things the hard way because I think I've become a more mature individual, at least in that sort of sense. I'm still a very immature guy. I'm sure many of you know that, but like in the sense of, you know, having to face certain problems earlier, because I moved away from my parents' house when I was 18. And I didn't, while I wasn't really living on my own, I was living with a roommate at the moment. I was basically an independent, and so, you know, are you fucking, what the, are you, you see that? What the hell? Okay, sure. Can't eat those, I knew that, but physics wouldn't allow me to not avoid that. So thank you, physics. That's great. But yeah, I mean, when I moved out when I was 18, I've been living, you know, quote unquote, on my own for the last 10 years, and it's been interesting. You know, independence is it's very fun, and at the same time, it's a very scary thing. Especially if you're used to just, you know, relying on your parents all the time. You're just like, oh yeah, you know, you find out really that you take a lot of things for granted. You know, generally, if you've had a decent home life, you know, you've lived relatively comfortably, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at there. Relatively comfortably. You didn't have to pay rent, you didn't have to pay bills or anything like that. So it's very, very different when you're out on your own. Even if you had a job, you know, as a teenager, it's still very, very different, just because the money that you made, unless your parents made you pay rent and made you pay for stuff, all that money was yours and you could do whatever you want. So there is nothing but death, I can assume. Death, yes, there is not nothing but death out there, but, well, maybe that's kind of that kind of depends on your situation. But you know, you find out that you have things relatively easy, and then when you get out there, a lot of people kind of freak out because they don't know what to do, and you know, you're just not taught these things, and it's very, very weird. Some people adapt to change well. I wouldn't say I adapted to it well. I've never really had trouble leaving home though. Like, I'm pretty sure if my mom could have her way, she would make it so that I stay and kind of live if not living with them, you know, living close to them at the very least, like, you know, in the same, like, town or something. I think if my mom could have her way, she would like me to stay closer to home rather than, you know, living halfway across the world. And I don't know, it's just, it's nothing really against them. You know, I enjoy my independence, and it's something that I've come to appreciate, just because when I was living with them, and even though I did have, you know, my own money to do pretty much whatever I wanted with, like, I was living under their house and I was living under their rules. And while I'm still living in, you know, currently in someone else's house, it's still more independent than I would be if I were living with my parents. And so it's one of those things that you come to appreciate. I don't even know how I got on this topic, just because somehow we went from me needing to do more work and then money problems, and I guess that's how I got to this thing. But being independent is interesting and kind of weird, and I really enjoy it. I think independence is something that everyone should seek to have, like, you know, and full independence, I mean, you know, like paying for your own stuff, having your own mode of transportation, a job, you know, things of that nature. Essentially, growing up is what I'm getting at. But it's a very hard thing for a lot of people to transition into. I'm still having trouble with it now, and you know, I'm 27, so it doesn't really get any easier, but it's something that you get used to and you can come to appreciate. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at with my story. So yeah, very, very interesting things happening. But oh man, okay, what have I gotten myself into? Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, no. I need to do this, wait. No, that's too short. I actually need running speed. Aha! No. 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 Well, that was it, but I needed to stop. Come on, Mario. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. I can get through these. Oh, thank God. Okay. Ludwig! Isn't it funny that his level is completely encased in ice, and yet I'm fighting him over lava? That's pretty good. Got him. And, oh yeah. Bam. Haha, I forgot about that trick. I was like, I don't know why I'm trying to go for this guy in the air. And it's like, oh yeah, if you hit him in the air before he gets to a certain point, it counts as a hit, and then he doesn't do the spinny thing, so you can just kill him on the second run. The second time he does the pattern, so awesome. Yeah, whatever. What? No, Mario, it's a trap! Mario destroyed Ludwig von Koopa's, or Ludwig von Koopa, but also burned himself. Later he made a quick recovery, and now he has found himself underground again. Oh man. We just keep going underground. Hopefully it's not a repeat of last time, where it's just complete darkness, but I think generally that's what happens when you go underground. Oh, look! Whoa! Castle 5, 6, and 7 right here. And look at Bowser's castle. It's like freaking huge, but anyway, you know, I've ranted on long enough about this. I don't know where all that came from, really. I just wanted to talk about the one thing, and then kind of just spiraled into other semi-related things. But anyway, thank you for hearing me out, guys, and you know, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.